baganti omanyi ffe tubeera wano e Bulaaya.
Yes,
omwana n'omugamba nti owaayi bino bigaanyi nze kye kyanzizaayo okusoma ebintu bya tekinologiya bino kati ndi mu ssomero ndi mu bisimanya ate kati nsoma na bwana simanye bwa myaka 24 mu IT
bw'osoma nabo
omusajja aleeta ebintu obwana bwo bubitegeera bulungi nnyo gw'obwongo bwo oli myaka gyo gino gye gigenze gitambuddemukko bakugamba wandiika koodi bweti oli mu programming.
Naye okusoma kw'ekikulu kuno kukola kutya?
Okusoma kw'ekikulu kuno oluusi kulungi oluusi kubi naye ate kuzibu si kwangu nnyo inewe nti njakuwa example ennungi ennyo muganda wange Smugi oba n'omuntu atannajja Bulaaya wano kati fe oluusi emyaka nze 17 gye mmaze wano naye we najjira nali mutooto mukko bw'ogeraageranya nti nali myaka nga 20 mu giijo 7 nnyingira 3 nti bw'oba oyingira emyaka egyo obwongo buba bukyakwata bulungi nnyo nina baganda bange bendabye abazze kwegamba nga yazze obwongo bwe buli muganzize Bulaaya ngenda kukola naye n'oyingira ensi nga Sweden nga mu nsi ya Sweden olina okubeera ng'olina okuyiga olulimi kati ne bakutuuza mu kibiina n'obwana bwa myaka 2 ate bonga bukwata nnyo kati nga olina okukola
bwana bukwata nnyo obwana
anti kati bw'obongo
anti kati ali mu musomo gwa kikulu
obwana obwongo naddala olulimi
obwana nga bukwata nnyo
kegamba buli kye basomesa because obwongo bw'abaana in most cases bubeera bwo buli anything that comes around
I understand. For the interest of time, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Afro-Den Reports as we sail into the Afro-Den Reports political lenses. With a guest. We've been behind the scenes, and my guest Eddie Cool is encountering a lot of challenges today, and for some reason that's why we're having a surprise guest in the dark shadows there, but he's wonderful. With me,
no. You should withdraw that statement. It's not that I'm having we're having a guest because I'm having challenges. We are having a guest because we were meant to have a guest.
I thought because we are meant to have a challenge.
No, because we are meant to have a challenge.
He was explaining that we are late because of the challenges that we had.
I thought my guest had encountered challenges, then we had to, get a surprise guest to back him up.
Okay.
But at the end of it all, for the guest, for the viewers, is Afro-Den Reports, and you're welcome to the, Afro-Den Reports political lenses, and you are looking at Bobi Wine's role in the challenge, challenging the status quo. And exactly, today is the 3rd of October, 2025, and then by virtue of the weather, yes, we're in the gray season where, transiting from summer, and then the temperatures are really not that the best. But it is what it is. We always survive. Just a reminder, I always tell people that it's only, as per now, today is the 3rd of October. Yes, we are just remaining something like 89 days to count, the year off. But that means you're only having 2 months and 28 days, and then we'll wrap it all. But the question is, are you still committed to what you promised yourself to as you started this year? But my answer is as good as yours. Good evening, yours. It's aka Smokey. Yes, with me, I'm back again with the great team. And this time around, it's Eddie Bobi from Denmark, and then Bwana Mbazira, Mbazira Joseph, a great man from Sweden who does always wonder. It was just a phone call, then he said, let's do it. though he may not be very visible, but it is what it is. His wisdom is always audible enough. But I would love to accept Eddie Cool Ngobi to wait a little bit, and we accept our surprise guest to introduce himself to the viewers, and then we start our show in full gear.
Thank
Yes,
you very
Bwana.
much. Thank you very much, mukuru wange oba muganda wange, and of course to all our guests right now that are watching. Thank you very much for keeping up to keeping on this channel. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala okubeera nti you keep around and you watch whatever is like broadcasted down here. My name is Joseph Yosefu. If you don't know me, I'm based in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm a journalist by profession. Biennasoma. Nainsomye bingi. I'm an IT specialist right now into that, and I'm also into obujjanjabi, a passion legal assistant, a commercial voice producer, I'm an MC. Nina bingi byenkwataganya ng'omuntu, and ekyo kimpa okubeera nti ntega eno nawali wano nawali. So I'm really happy to be back again. The last time I was here is about a couple of months ago, and I was here to deliberate and of course to promote ebintu ebigenda maaso. So I'm based in Sweden, and I've been here for the last about 17 years, and thank God mukama atukumye. Sijja kweyanjula kusikka ku ekyo, ndi musajja mufumbo, abaana nina, ndi musajja wa nnyonyi nyange. Mukama omukisa nga muwuliriza olunaku olwaleero.
Wow, that's our man, Mbazira, like he has stated it all. Yes, he's based in Sweden, and he has been a man of surprises most times because he's a multi-talented gentleman. When it comes to music, when it comes to journalism, when it comes to basically, he's a man who is in the sector of edutainment and infotainment. Information is very valid. So thank you. And it was just a call away. And then he said, yes, we can do it. It's going to be a cocktail kind of show where it's going to be an open talk. We shall engage. It was a request done by Bwana Eddie Cool Ngobi last time when he said, can we fuse in some bit of Luganda so that probably this can echo well to our people. I just had to make a draw, and then people said, yes, let's make it a Chivuguto. So this time around, Eddie Cool, you're going to be flexible. You're going to be having some bit of, you can do the game in your way, but it's going to be an open talk. And with the open talk, it will be a cocktail of languages. And then you're free to ask a link if you want to, and then also engage in this. The number to call will be also visible, and then we see how we can make it even. If you can't contribute through a visible way, you can always make an audio, or you can make a WhatsApp call, and then we make it properly the way it's supposed to be done. Yes, Bwana Eddie, I would love you to introduce yourself, and then we see how to go with this.
I thought you were introducing me. How do I start introducing myself when I have a moderator?
Sometimes I get tired of over introducing you. I'm also human.
Mr. Ngobi, waliwo abakulaba abaali agadde okumanya you introducing yourself, Sebo?
Me, I'm simply Msoga from Chigulu Naibiri, Nabitembe. Apparently, ndiyo baba, ukobotia. Though I'm also based in Bufula, that is in Budondo, Jinja Northern Division. I engage into farming. I love farming, by the way. I take it as a passion, and it's something that I would implore many of us to join, because farming is a very, very good business. And I would implore actually Ugandans who are trying to look for what to do, not to look elsewhere. So long as they have land, let them go and farm. Because we all eat food, and food is a basic necessity everywhere in the world. So if you go into farming, you can't go wrong. So when we go to places like where we are right now, my brother Mbazira is in Sweden, and I'm here in Denmark. But it's always good that when you mobilize resources, make it that resources to be visible on the ground by multiplication, not into other speculative businesses. Agriculture is really there's no shortcut about it. And actually, let me say this: I saw one of ours, one Diana here in Copenhagen, in Denmark. She was in either Japan or somewhere, and she was going for tractors and agriculture inputs. I was so thrilled. It doesn't mean that other areas like services, for example, like the school, my friend Joseph put up, the School of Catering, is not a good idea. But besides that, agriculture is very, very good. And so I would implore Ugandans to go for that. And by the way, I liked it when Mr. Bobi Wine Chagulanyi, on his campaign trail in Busoga, he's telling the Busoga to go back and dig, go back and do what they do best. And that is very, very good, because our people are lacking knowledge, are lacking information, are lacking direction. Nobody is telling them what to do. Everything is all about speculation. When they look at these politicians coming out with envelopes, handouts, giving them some small money, so they think politics is the biggest investment business, whereas politics is a lot of speculation and it's very dangerous, and it's politics that has caused us a lot of troubles in the country, because most of these politicians, you see, they are parasites. I'll say that, and I'll emphasize they are parasites. Current politicians, they don't add any value to our country apart from sucking it. You could call them they are blood suckers. They are getting a lot of money from the people, and they don't work for this money. They go in parliament. They don't come out with the programs that develop the country. They don't come out with the programs that develop the economy. They don't come out with programs that develop the people. So to them, and of course, the status quo, it's about maintaining the status quo as it is, so that they keep on draining.
Bwana Eddie, what I want to know, is this still an introduction?
It is an introduction, and it was going on. It could continue on and on, because I have a lot when it comes to Uganda.
I'm certain we're going to shift.
Because it also brings a topic in a way. Because I already had gotten a question for Bwana Eddie when we had the elders, the Basoga and Sadus at the time, when we had those elders that were there in the Busoga region, the politicians that were the elites. I remember growing up as a young man, Busoga region was like, the crown of development of the Ugandan, most probably after Buganda, with the resources. And then everything all of a sudden disappeared. Today you are imploring people to go down there, and of course, even if somebody's like, in Europe like we are, or like I am, You're imploring people to go down there and invest and balime, and they do the digging, and people's land is being taken. People don't have land. That is for the starters. And even the little they have is being taken away from them. So when we look at some of those factors, to mention but a few, it kind of looks like a little bit imbalanced to kind of motivate somebody who is like already down and beaten. How do you lift them up? How do you tell them that tomorrow you're going to be good when today is not okay? As in a sense of argument and kind of like reasoning, and because sometimes we tell people you can make it, you can be this, but at the end of the day they can't be that when they don't have the tools to be that.
I get it, yeah.
Sometimes we become motivational speakers, nti kino ojja kusobola okukikola, ojja kusobola okubeera omulimi, ojja kusobola okusoma okutuuka ku university. Where is the education system? Bintu bingi nnyo bye tujja okutunuulira, naye awo we njagala okusooka okukoma olyoka onziremu.
Okay, let me just take it in right now. To the viewers, the men came up with today, the communicators. If I'm not certain, they're most likely to ambush the show. But I'm still in.
By the way, boss, you are the moderator, and stop us at any one time because we are talking.
I love it when you engage in this format.
You see, Mr. Mbazira. Mr. Mbazira.
Yes, Ebo.
Owulira introduction yange nga ndi kwogera.
Nawulira introduction yo ng'oli kwogera.
Ogiwulire.
Introduction tebadde ebadde nga okulambulula omulamwa.
Kakati, no, you can speak in Luganda. Nze nayogera Olusoga kizibu buzibu. There's no problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who just joined us.
Olusoga, by the way, Olusoga ndwagala nnyo leero omwami Kyagulanyi bw'abadde ayogera, nze nina kye mbadde simanyi, anti Abasoga n'Abaganda, we are kind of related in so very big ways. Kino kyo njagadde nkijjeeyoko katono, nti waliwo posto abasinga obungi muyinza okuba mubadde temugirabye, nti omwami ono yeeyita Ngobi oba bamuyita Ngobi, naye leero ajjeyo history ye etulaga nti we people are not so different from each other. Ajjeyo history ye n'alaga nti jjajjaawe yali Katikkiro, his great grandfather, who was once a prime minister in the kingdom of Buganda, via Mutesa I, is related. He actually went to Busoga, got a wife, and married down there. So he got to his ancestral home. Many of us don't know what ekintu kye bayita emirandira oba obuwangwa, but this guy brought it out in a way that I loved it today. So bwe mbanga ndi wano ne muganda wange Omusoga, ate nina baganda bange Abasoga bangi nnyo benjagala nnyo. One of my best friends bamuyita Jime Munobwa is a doctor. I call him a doctor kubanga he has a PhD. He's one of the land people down here in Sweden. And be bantu bogamba nti we have to always be together kubanga tetwawukana nnyo. Tulabanga Musoga n'ogamba nti oli Munyankole, oli Mugundi. We are one in any one sense. naye tugende mu maaso n'omulamwa ekyo kyo
Yes.
njagadde
Okay,
kiyisaawo
thank you
buli
very
ssaawa.
much for this kind of intro. No, Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Afro-Day Reports. These men behind the curtains, they're not easy to handle. Otherwise, something else may come out. But it is what it is, and it's Afro-Day Reports, and the topic of discussion is Bobi Wine's role in engaging, in challenging the status quo. And then we're just going to look into the different semantics, or we're just going to look into or analyzing exactly what this means. But we can't go ahead by minus having a little rider which will give us a way forward. Let's have a little of all how it started, and then we shall see how we are going to end up.
Years ago, our parents shed blood for what they believed was a liberation 40 years ago. Our comrades in this very generation are in prison for this very struggle. They've shed blood for this struggle. Many of them are missing and they don't even have graves for this struggle. Let us carry them in our hearts. Let us carry them in our minds. Let us do this in their name. Brothers and sisters, the same courage and discipline that has kept us going since 2017 should be the same courage and discipline to carry us through this campaign. Your duty in this campaign, I must remind you, will not be to protect me. Yes, your duty in this campaign is not to protect me. It is to protect yourselves. It is to protect each other. It is to protect those ordinary people that come to support us on our rallies. I request you to be vigilant in every village that we shall enter and on every rally that we go to. Please be very solid and be very sober. Please be very calm and be very disciplined. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Be careful, but don't show fear, because this regime wants us to be fearful.
The streets of Uganda are overflowing with energy and defiance as millions rally behind opposition leader Bobi Wine, the youngest presidential candidate in the country's 2026 elections. At 43, Bobi Wine is not just a politician, he's a symbol of resistance and youth power. Financially independent and fearless in his calls for reform, he represents the hunger of a new generation demanding transformation. His message is clear. Uganda deserves leadership that reflects the struggles, hopes, and dreams of its people, not the endless rule of one man. Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni, now 81 years old and in power for nearly 4 decades, is once again seeking re-election. For many Ugandans, especially the youth, his prolonged rule represents stagnation, corruption, and the silencing of voices calling for freedom. This movement in Uganda is bigger than one election. It is part of a wave across Africa where young people are rising, demanding leaders who reflect their future, not the past. Family, do you believe 2026 could be the turning point for Uganda? Is Africa finally ready to hand power to a new generation of leaders? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and follow.
Yes, do you believe that 2026 will be a turning point when it comes to what's really happening to Uganda? This may not shake not only the status quo of Uganda, but also surrounding countries or the region around, if not Africa at large. So, being a young, brave, young youth, Bobi Wine, I think is an icon right now, not only in Africa but all places. But the question still stands. Is he really doing the challenge? Or is he challenging the status quo? I'll go straight to Sweden, to my brother, Bazira. Yes, who was just ambushed for this show. But what I like with him is a man of wisdom, and this is an area of interest because he has been in entertainment and then he has also been into media, at least he has a wider scope whenever we come to issues like this. Brother Mbazira, once again, you're welcome. And
Thank you very much, Sebo.
this is something Lita wanted you to give us, more information about. How was Bobi Wine basically, Bobi Wine's background as a musician? Because at least you've been having engagement with Bobi Wine in several times in the music sector. But how has his music sector or him as a musician influenced his approach of his political activism, and how has he challenged this authority using his background of music?
The truth is that Bobi Wine as an artist, Bobi Wine as a musician, because this is a person who has like more or less two personalities.
Mm-hmm.
We could look at Bobi Wine, and these are personalities that we have to differentiate at the times. That we could look at Bobi Wine. That's why he has those two personalities there as Bobi Wine and then Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Sometimes you would say, I'm talking to Bobi Wine, and then I will say I'm talking to Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. For those of us who have had the opportunity to meet him physically and in person from way back in his younger life, when he was like, the unruly boy, who was the bad man, like would call it. You would describe him as a guy who's like, social, but then when he would get like, not to terms with you, would like, push you away, and it's like, but he's still the same person. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu today that you see, he's two in one, and it's very difficult in life to be a person ng'olina personalities bbiri. To say that again in English, it's like it is very difficult for a person to have two personalities. That you meet Joseph, and he's this Joseph that you know, and then you meet him in another personality where you don't know him. I will give you an example, and a very good one. I've met Bobi since I was in my working days as a journalist in Uganda, 15 years ago, when I was in Uganda working on radio. I met him, I hosted him, I was like with him when he was like a musician, and he would come to the shows. He was like, this pompous, vibus guy, and he was like, it's all about music, but he would make a statement at any one time he approached you. Yeah, of course, that time I saw him. That was the Bobi, or that was the Bobi Wine. He would come and meet you and say hi, and you became friends automatically in a kind of way. But then years rolled, Bobi becomes this other personality who is a leader. But apparently he has been preaching this not just like yesterday, but from way back. You just see it from his songs, you see it from his music, you see it from his the way he walks is what he talks. So when I met him a couple of years ago in Sweden, after we had left, I thought I'm meeting. I met, of course, the Muvanda, the bad man. That is when I just like relocated in Sweden. I met the Muvanda, the bad guy, when they were still in their troubles with Bebe Kuru Bichi because of it, their music. And that was what he was aligned with. But then at one time in his lyrics, even in something that he had said, he said, if the parliament does not come to us, we shall, if the ghetto does not come to us, if the parliament or if the leadership does not come to us, we shall come to the leadership.
We shall drag the ghetto to the parliament.
Yeah, I think he stated it somewhere in his lyrics or in his songs or somewhere. If the leadership does not come to us, the ghetto guys who are down here, then we are gonna come to you. That is what the man has done. I'm so very pleased because of that guy, that in a way he has preached what he preaches and walks what he preaches. At the end of the day, he ended up in parliament. He did what he did. And those of you who saw it, you saw it. He would not take no nonsense. And people thought he's like, a joker. He was never a joker. Until the day they actually tortured him to pulp. That is what brought out the monster of the president that you see right now.
Talking about the president, you see, we're looking at his leadership, his management and leadership in the ghetto world when he was still way back into the music fraternity. Do you see an alignment with exactly what's really happening right now? Case in point, his leadership style in the ghetto while he was still a great musician.
For what I know and what I can say, I've never been in the ghetto. I'm a kid who's brought up like, maybe good life. But these are guys that have suffered. The way he has grown up, if you look at his history, he's a guy who's like, I know nze ntobye okusoma mama yafa over, and I've struggled with my brothers and sisters. When you look at his biography and everything, he's a guy that has struggled. And we've seen those stories of people that have struggled. So in a way, I can say that kind of motivated him as a person to become what he is today. Wow. And in a way that me going back to know, I've not known him from his childhood. No, I won't say I've known him from his childhood. I've not. But looking at his story, somebody that transforms themselves, and they transform themselves 160 degrees or 180 degrees. That is something that somebody has to be cautious about. Because he's a person that nobody most probably saw coming.
True.
Maybe I'll just get back to this, that our current president said, I'm going to wipe out the opposition by 2020, I think it was. That was his statements in his own words. I will wipe out all the opposition. He's done that. Look at DP, the Democratic Party, the parties that we guys grew up knowing. Ngatumanyise Mogerere and the DP that was DP Gumire, the UPC, Yagundi, who not Akenani. Then go to all the other parties that were down there at the time. I'm talking about my time when I'm growing up. Bwe tunafuna omukisa okuwuliriza omukulu omulala ajja tubuulira ye time gye yakuliramu. Naye nze time gye nkuliddemu, I'm born 80. I'm telling you, I'm 45 years now. But in my 45 years time, I've only seen one president, Museveni. Museveni gwe ndabye, tukyusizza ssente. Maama wange yakolanga mu Bank of Uganda. Nze musajja yasooka okukwatako emitwalo 2 esaavi ekisubi gye nali nsomera. Kwegamba ng'olaba ebintu bitambula bulungi.
Yes, Bwana Mbazira. Let's cross over to Denmark, and we see a man who witnessed the independence 1962. Because based on your statements, oyakulaba omuntu eyaliko ku
ya
myaka egy'edda.
tugezese generations olumu nja kudda taata
Kubanga emyaka ogyegaanye kakati katugendeko ku yalaba ku independence tulabe ye kyagamba. Yes, Bwana Eddie, you're welcome once again, and then we are humbled also to have you. Yes, you've heard at least the background of how the man in the media has been seeing Bobi Wine, and at least why I needed his wisdom here was because he has been into the music industry. He is in Stockholm, and then also way back also in Uganda, he's in media, where also he has on several accounts he has been meeting Bobi Wine, and he has a different perspective in that. But for Mr. Eddie, how can you just highlight some specific instances where you see Bobi Wine doing, directly a confronted political, while he's trying to confront the political structure and then the authorities? Where do you see him challenging the status quo?
I think you would have reframed your question to what does the rise of Bobi Wine mean to Museveni?
That's how it suits you. That I take
How
it.
does
If it
Bobi
suits you
Wine
that way,
mean? How does Bobi Wine's rise mean
Mm.
to the junta? I've been hearing about Mr. Mbazira. I've never met him, but I would want to meet him. It looks like there are quite a number of projects who are going to work together with him, because there's in the way he talks, articulates issues. I realize we have a lot in common. And Mr. Mbazira, I'm very thankful that I'm meeting you now. And I'm saying right now we are going to start on working on some projects. Which
I'm
projects
very
are not
honored,
going to
Sebo.
which projects I'm not going to divulge here right now. Yes, about independence, I did not see independence myself. Independence came when I wasn't there. And to be precise, Uganda has not even seen independence, because you cannot say Uganda is independent. A country that is independent is a country where people live with freedom and they enjoy their country. They enjoy quite a lot of things. They are very proud of their country. There are certain things they pride in their own country. That's what is an independent country or an independent state. But a country that has been led by military all the time, by the guns, by bombs, coming to power, somebody to come to power, one must have generals. I remember though I was a young boy in the 1980 elections, I supported DP not because of anything, but as a young boy, I was just taken up by the wave and whatever was going on, and it was DP. So it was DP. Now, when I was supporting DP, here comes Bote. Actually, he was even a ginger or whatever, I don't know. Milton Obote, the late. And then he asked a question that, Semogere, you're saying you're going to go to Entebbe. Where are your generals? That word, that statement. He asked Semogere for the generals, meaning whether Semogere won the elections or not, he did not have generals, he did not have the army, he did not have the military. And this is exactly what is happening right now. This is exactly what has been happening. Now, we have Bobi Wine, apparently, who is a symbol. Let me put it this way. Bobi Wine is symbolic and a political and a practical challenger. He's symbolic and a practical challenger. because he represents a generational change. He has come up with a manifesto. He thinks are workable. He thinks you can see them, just like what Mbazira was saying, that he's a practical man. He has come up to challenge the status quo. Indeed, he has come to challenge the status quo because he has come out in full force. He has all the tools that he needs right now. When I've not read his entire manifesto, but he has a very good manifesto, very good, and it's rated as 7 to 10. In other areas, it's rated 9 to 10. The manifesto is very good for Uganda and Ugandans. So today, Bobi Wine is a force and is challenging the status quo, not only in Uganda, but across the region. As you can see, what is going on apparently, this election is not any different from so many other elections. He's standing against the military, and it's going to take Ugandans to stand up against the military to take Uganda back. You see, without Ugandans standing up against the military, Bobi Wine is only awakening the people. He's awakened the generation. He brought politics to the youth, because today the youth are in parliament. He has taken the youth from the ghetto to parliament, or taken parliament or leadership to the ghetto, as he has always been saying. This is because the youth have been manipulated and they've been neglected. They've been used, and not only youth, Ugandans have been used a lot. If you heard of in today's rally where he was, I think he was in Mayuge, the people were in unison with whatever he was saying. They talked about poverty, and you see in Bobi Wine actually has what Mbazira said, that he has metamorphosed. To me, actually, I'll say it's not a 360 degrees as people think. People, this is we grow up. It's a process. We change. People change according to situations. When he was in music, he had to behave and be like a musician. What musicians do. Right now, he's in diplomacy. He's a statesman. He has to do things in a tandem with the ethics of a statesman. So apparently, it's not a 360 as some people would want to say it, but he is somebody who is adapting to a new situation. One is adapting to fighting for the people. Of course, he's been there fighting for
apparently, the people. Just to interject a little bit, why I said 360 is in a way that I am a person who's met this man physically before he had become who he is. And when you meet somebody and you know who they are and kind of what they do, and you see abantu abasinga today say Omuyaga. This is a guy who was like, I will give you a very good example. Like when I'm I met Bobi Wine after several years living in Sweden, and I meet him. I thought this is a guy I would like. He used to come and do shows. But the next time I met him when he was president, he was another person. He was somebody who actually I hugged, and I even felt abantu kyemuwulira kyebayita nti omuntu alina amasannyalaze. This is a person I met at another time or at another level. Yes, Abu.
I don't want us to dwell much on that. Let me tell you. I have met Bobi Wine myself.
You're talking about the 360, I was explaining
that. I met Bobi Wine in Ginger some years ago, before he even went to politics. let me share this with you. And anybody who would want to hear this. I met him in Ginger. I had gone to my cousin's hotel. I didn't know Bobi Wine was there, but reaching there, I was told Bobi Wine is here with his team. They have a project they are working on. That was in Ginger. Now, as I was leaving, I realized my brother's wife was also part of the project. Said, by virtue that I'm staying here, they're staying at my place. I also found myself into the program. Hey, okay. We didn't go into details. Then I left. As I was leaving, I saw Bobi Wine walking to his car. When I saw Bobi Wine walking to his car, I went direct to him and to talk to him. Let me tell you, I saw respect at that time. What Bobi Wine did, how he behaved, he was still a musician. He told me, nzize kunona kayaga kange wano, waliwo kenzize okunona no mu motoka. Ndi mu meeting nzirayo, baninzi sina budde kati. Naye bw'oba olina obudde, tujja kusobola okunyumya. But he didn't have time for me. We did not even spend 2 minutes together. That one showed me purpose. It showed me respect. It showed me leadership. Nze nga bwe nakiraba. Omulala yaligambye nti amweyagaliddeko. Naye nze nakiraba bulala. Ate naye omuntu gwe ndaba ku ssaawa eno. Teyampa budde. That's a fact. Teyampa budde. Kuba yali alina by'alina okukola. Kati kigenda, it resonates with Mbazira what you said. Nti omusajja ono bw'aba agenda okukola ekintu oba bw'ayogera ku kintu akikola. Is a person who's driven by a program. Si ye muntu gw'osanga awo n'olowooza nti ajja kuyingira mu projects z'aba teyeetegekedde. Now, before that, twamukubirako essimu nga tuli wano. A friend of mine met him in Uganda. N'agamba, Eddie, tulina omwami wano gwe mwalireese n'atuyimbirako awo. Ne bajja ne batuyimbirako awo. Nayogera naye ku ssimu. Era tetwamala bbanga ddene nga twogera. Ne tukutula kye twali twogerako. Kati, most of our people, bw'oba omukubidde mudda mu luwaali. Naye ye twatuukira ku points ze twayogerako ku ssimu. Kati bwe musanga ejjinja ne mujjukizaamu ngamba bambi. Okay. Naye tetwayogera bingi. And the guy left. I also had to go. Kati, what I'm seeing presidential material. I'm seeing a statesman. I'm seeing a force to reckon with in Uganda's politics.
But then, when you look at Mr. Eddie, when you look at the likes of Mpuga, the likes of Semuju, the likes of Segona, balabika bamukubyemu ebituli mbutannaba kuba kweteekateeka akyali muto. What's your take on that?
My take on that is simple. One, the Mpugas and Segonas, to them, they think they know so much. They've been there, so they can. They are the ones who drive the direction the country can take. And let me tell you this. Do you remember in college, when we went to when we came to college, you were an S1. They used to treat you as an S1 in everything that you do. So that is the mentality that Segona Nganda are having. The Semuju Ngandas are having. Yes. So because he has come out to challenge them. He has surpassed them by the way. He's beyond them. I want to say this. To them now they've been turned into milk card politicians. This one is a different. And here is the thing. To him, he's not interested in being just into in the parliament. These fellows are the Segonas and the Semujus. To them, the status quo is okay with them. They've been around. What have they done? Ask yourself that question. What have they done? The only thing they did was some time back when the Buganda riots that took place in when we had the problems in Ugerere, when they refused the Kabaka to go to Ugerere. That's the only time they were visible, you know. After that, they disappeared. They went into comfort and very, very comfortable, you know. I have not seen Segona being brutalized or being manhandled by police. At least I've seen Semuju. But Segona, no. To him is like a mulangira. He thinks zebituja kuifuna byabwere tebali yankwatako bwemba nyambadde kooti zange amasuuti gange kati ono Bobi Wine mwana muto yakajja ffe twamulabye ne tukola ne tumuyingiza wano n'okumulaga ebyokukola. That is not workable. It's not delivering anything. Bobi Wine kati bano abasajja Bobi Wine abalaze nti kibaba baddeko nga bakola bya bulimba bwereere babadde banoonya byabwe. Bobi Wine abalaze n'abagamba no, we must be serious, and to be serious we must go to the trenches, which these fellows don't want. Get this, when Bobi Wine tried to reshuffle his cabinet in the parliament, some of them refused. Mpuga refused, and this lady, others, they defied him and they refused. You know, they refused. They didn't cooperate with him because they were looking at him as a young boy. How do they get us from these posts? They can't. Forgetting that Bobi Wine is the president running a party. You know, now they wanted to bring what they used to have in BP, where they were very.
Mr. Eddie, a little bit. Yes, Mbazira.
Yeah, my interjection was this. Nti abantu today tebategeera. Some people still look at this young man as a ng'omuntu owa bulijjo. Nti even the people who came into the party, a National Unity Platform, abamu gye tulimu oba abamu gye balimu, nti bo bajja nga bamanyi nti tujja mufunirako his fame and his tulyoke twe elevating, tulyoke tugende tufune eddaala eddala, because abantu baffe ebiseera ebisinga ate naddala kino kankyogere nti abantu ffe Abaganda kankyogere bwentyo twagala nnyo okuyimukira ku bantu. Ekyo si kirabye bulabi, njagala kutwala general perception eya today mu history. Abaganda tulina enkwe. Abaganda ng'Abaganda, saagadde kuteeka kintu kino mu Buganda nti oba Buganda, naye tukkirize Abaganda nga ffe Abaganda tulina enkwe. Look at all these people that omusajja baasembezza nga bazze mufunirako kale kati eŋŋombe y'olwaleero nga bwe tugyogerako nti masannyalaze oba electricity. All of these people are from the central region where he is best. All of these people are from the region where he is born.
True.
And these are the people who are like, you know, well, we came because he is who he is. He is this famous guy, and he's a young man who they didn't think would do whatever he's doing. But because of his fame and whatever he's doing, everybody's like, okay, as long as I get him as a stepping stone. Nti the difference with him, kino kyenjo balaga, nti ate ye mulala nnyo mu ngeri endala. Nti the people that are surrounding him are not even Baganda.
True, yeah.
Otunuulira Bobi Wine n'abantu abamwetoolodde. Look at them. Mwami Rubongoya, the General Secretary. Genda ku gundi ku omukyalo uwe nyini yasula ewuwe. Muveeko oyo. Genda ku ani bano ab'ebusoga bahani. He's brought together everybody. Nti kati gwe tojja kujja ng'ogira ku the tribalistic bigundi lines. Olowooza nti naayitawo. Era ajja kutunuulira ng'omulalu. That's why this man is very ununderstandable.
Yes, Bwana Mbazira.
Oyogedde Mbazira ekintu abantu kye bataagala kwogerako bakukkiriza. Abaganda bananfuusi nnyo.
No, ekyo tulina okyogera.
Abaganda bananfuusi nnyo. Of course n'abasoga balina enkwe. Sijja kugamba nti ffenna ffe tutibukiridde. Singa tetwejjaamu bunanfuusi n'enkwe, we could do better. Naye olaba
ekyo kyokansooka enkyogerereko ku perspective. Kati twogera ku Uganda. Naye n'eno gye tuli mu Bulaaya.
It's also reflected, eh?
Yeah, no, it's a reflection of everywhere we are. Nti you meet your brother, oba mwannyoko oba muganda wo oba ki. Nze njagadde nnyo olwaleero kuba zino ze examples ze tulina okuwa. Omwami Kyagulanyi olwaleero agambye nti nze yadde mundabanga omuganda naye jjajjange jjajja wa jjajjange my great grandfather azaalibwa wano Busoga. Oba yawasa omukazi e Busoga wano nina family n'agibalaga. So tebamuyita ngobi for no reason.
Kakati simbawo kakati katono. Gundi eyo njirabyeko katono before we came on air. Naye kinzize mu mind okimanyi. Ngambuuza Museveni ayinza otulagako great grandparents be abantu beka. Kuba beyinza okwenyumirizaamu.
That would be a question of another day. And
bayinza okwenyumirizaamu. No, ebintu ebimu tulina byogerako kuba ne bw'oba ojjuza passport ne bw'oba ofuna ndagamuntu bakugamba bajjajjaabo baani abo bolina okujjuzaamu.
Anti kati ku passport office batera okubuuza tambula ng'Omuganda kuba ogambye oli Muganda.
Naye kaakati abamu batambula batya?
Bajjajjaabo 3, 4, 5.
Absolutely. Naye kati abamu batambula batya?
Ekyo ekibuuzo katukirekere abatuwuliriza oba batulaba, but online we appreciate let's appreciate the people who are with us online. I see a lot of people, and then I'll just say hello to some few. Yes, Benja Forrest Benjamin, yes, Kajambo Sebo Chigundu, Charles, maximum respect. Yes, keep engaging with us on African Reports. Subscribe with us, and then also keep following us on our Facebook channel, Facebook pages. There are really many, and then we shall always be able to avail you a lot in stock. But as you comment, you can also at least let us know where you are located, and then we can avail our services easier to you. But it's a topic of discussion, and we're looking at Bobi Wine's role in changing the status quo on Ugandans' way of living. But Bwana Joseph, let me come back to you. At least you've been watching what has been really happening in the campaign trail, where we see Bobi Wine and then being refused by the forces to his destiny, where he was supposed to do his campaigns. From the time of from the takeoff stage of his campaign, For these few days, what have you seen that has really changed the narrative when it comes to campaigning?
We are. Thank you very much, my brother, for giving me that opportunity there to explain this or even a highlight on this. For me, as an onlooker who is very far, I am going to say this in the very honest way. If we have some apologists or people from the government that is ruling right now, I will tell you that this is the very biggest of unfairness situations in the early stages of an election that is happening. For starters, when you lay out a plan for candidates, they are supposed to campaign where they're supposed to campaign. This guy or this boy or this man has already been shown injustice in a way that, okay, we are going to redirect you to go through those shady roads to make it not easy for you to reach your people. And then, even before I go any further, I will just like say, whoever is the campaign brain for Mr. Museveni today, he got to fire. He got to fire him because he's stupid. I will put it like that. Muraru Musiru, you can't create audience for somebody because what he's doing or what they are doing, whoever they are, nze campaign manager oba nze campaign gundi, nze ntwala campaign ya Mzee Museveni, and you are telling him that, okay, kyetuba tukola omusajja ono tumusindike mu byalo eyo tumuyise mu makuba gano amafu eyo alwewo, omuwa exposure. Bobi Wine mu kibuga bamumanyi, eyiganga bamumanyi, mu Kampala bamumanyi, mu bibuga bino ebinene bamumanyi nti Bobi Wine gyali music we bamukuba bakola biki. Kati gwate omusindise mu kyalo, mu byalo, omusindise mu busokomyo eyo, ate bongera omumanya. Are you crazy? Oli mulalu. Nze singa mbadde gundi wa Museveni, nze nalibadde nagobye dda. Kino nkyogera lwatu. Era bw'aba awulira obanga waliwo awulira owaabwe, uyo bamugobe.
No, waliwo ono bwe bali naye bamuyita ow'ekizigo, alabika yali waggulu mu bya kampeyini ebyo n'okulaba nti agezaako ow'ekizigo oba omutegedde
byakulowooza because kati era kyekino kuba tubadde twogera ku the influence of Bobi Wine in the politics of Uganda today. Nti ekintu kya Bobi Wine kye yajja okukola, teyajja gamba nti, oba even in the first campaign, teyajja gamba nti nze, okay, ayinza okuba akalulu yali ayagala kawangula, and of course he wanted to be president. Naye ekikulu kya byonna kulabisa, kulaga nsi eno bane muyimiriddewa. Ffe abamu ku ffe abavudde mu nsi Uganda ne tutambulako, tulabye, we have seen and we can judge. Omuntu n'ogamba nti, you know what, bannange, nsasula, I pay my taxes, but oluguudo luno lwe bampisaamu oba lwe bayisaamu omukulembeze, kati enguudo tuzirabye, tubadde tujja ziraba ezo ez'omu byalo. But the fools, I'm sorry to say that or call them that, have given the opportunity to the world, because this is being filmed.
For sure.
the world is saying, is Uganda like this? Uganda taina ngudo zitegerekeka. Bobi's, he's done a documentary that has gone worldwide, viral. Everybody is following this election. But today, oliawo ogamba nti ono katumuyise eno. And that is the picture you're giving about Uganda? Really?
Mbazira, what does that tell you? It tells you nti omwami oli saidi eri abantu abaliyo tebaliyo with commitment. Baliyo lwakuba balya. Actually, bali badde ata namugoba ya kagoba bameka bali badde beyita balusania campaign lusani gundi ngeri lusania political gundi ani eyono ani ono Munyagwa neno nayo yalibadde eneya NRM yalibadde bagita lusania kwa bali umba yabiri.
Talk about that Munyagwa right now. Do you see Bobi Wine's coming, changing now the political parties?
Did you see what?
Right now we're talking about, challenging the status quo, because there have been discomfort of the political parties, because you've just, echoed a little bit on Munyagwa's Lusania party. Where do you see Bobi Wine actually challenging all these other political parties?
What political parties do we have, Sebo? If I may ask, what political parties do we have? The political parties that we've had, okay, that was just like an interjection.
I know.
But let me lead you the Mukamawangi. Let me let you get that question up front. We are talking about political parties, but what political parties do we have? If I may ask, that you're talking about.
Don't you see
the problem of using a phone? Sorry, somebody was calling me here, but you asked a very pertinent questions about political parties. Can you kindly repeat that question?
No, he asked that which Genamaso Sebo moderator.
Because you echoed a little bit on the issue of Lusania party, and that's when I wanted to align it with our topic of discussion. Where do you see Bobi Wine, creating, shaking tables of these political parties, opposition basically? Because yes, we have one major party of NRM, but how about the other political opposition parties? Do we see Bobi Wine also playing a role in, challenging their status quo?
Can I answer that?
Please go ahead, sir.
I rather say nga omuna Uganda bwagamba yabayisamu eggaali. He has exposed them. Most of them. It tells you what is going on. Some of those are not political parties. They're just they're parties for convenience. You get what I mean? And Bobi Wine is masterclass. If he's trying to play, he's playing chess. He's playing. He's on another level altogether. These fellows are newbies. They don't know what they don't even know where they are going. Bobi Wine is far ahead. This is why you see in the media they're only talking about two people, and actually mostly one person, Bobi Wine. Everywhere in the media, in Ugandan media, foreign media, everywhere, mostly Bobi Wine. So the rest of the other parties, yabafula babugali, I remember there is a song, Obayaji lwali luyimba whatever yagamba nti abamu bali kutambula, abamu bali kudduka, nze ndi kubuuka, wamma ndi mazima wangu, ojjukira nti ndi kubuuka. Kakati that is where he is right now. Bano abalala bali eri bali mu busepiki, you know? Jibali, bali mu busepiki actually.
Just to
You can say
interject
it,
in a way,
you can
just to
say it that
interject
way.
nti njagadde twebuuze ku nsonga eyo gy'obuuzizza muganda wange nti the political parties. Twebuuze political parties ki eziriwo kaakati nga tuvuddemu ne mu kalulu kano. Twebuuze bwebuuza nti political parties ki eziriwo ze twogerako. Of course we have FDC with Nandala Mafabi, and we know what FDC has become. FDC is a shadow of its own self. This is a party that was sold. Negurwa. Then we go down DP. DP does not have a candidate in this election because the candidate wa DP
it's merged with NRM,
who is the Attorney General of the government.
Now is Justice Minister.
Justice Minister, yeah. The Attorney General, sorry, Attorney General Chiwanuka Gundi. Are actually ate nabino binyiza na nnyo nga sinaba nagenda eyo. Ffe we twasomera nga tuli mu masomero nga tusoma science SST luli baakubuuza nga cabinet ministers no naminga cabinet yonna. Naye olwaliro omwana omubuuza mu ssomero ani vice president nga tamumanyi. Ani prime minister nga tamumanyi. Ninga ffe twaneeminga nga cabinet yonna nga bye bibuuzo bye bakubuuza mu SST. Ekyo kiruma okulaga just to show you how down the level of education has gone. Naye, back away from that, going back to our topic that we're talking about of the election, all these other parties that are happening right now, ziteekeddwawo, because look at the parties that are down there. Apart from the traditional parties, FDC has a candidate. UPC does not have a candidate.
True, yeah.
DP does not have a candidate. Who are these other guys? These are parties that have been created. Oyinza okunga nti Munyagwa yagenze n'atambula districts zonna n'afuna emikono. Oyinza okungamba nti who is this other guy omulala gwe baleeseeko ayagala okufaananya erinnya lya Kyagulanyi. Nti yatambula districts n'afuna emikono. And that was not even vetted. Teri yakinoonyerezaako ku bannamawulire be tulina e Uganda. Ogamba nti okay, electoral commission.
But don't you trust the EC? Don't you trust the EC?
Which EC?
I don't trust the EC. That is one
Kakati,
from starters.
Kakati moderator.
Yes, sir.
EC is Museveni's instrument. Whatever is working in Uganda is Bobi Wine right now. Anything else is not working. Everything is under Museveni. Everything else is under President Museveni. Everything else is under one Museveni's family. That is how things are moving on. And that's why you even see that they could not come out with the campaign slogan. And they say, safeguarding the gains. Which gains? You know, which gains? They're talking about their own personal gains that they have. Maybe even the one of this Kizgo lady got in her place. Maybe, but which gains? Are you talking about poverty as gains? Are you talking about sickness as gains? Are you talking about lack of it? Teachers are busy striking and you call them gains? You know, and somebody who has been in power for over 40 years, they would not be even campaigning. They would be talking about their achievements. Then look here, we've achieved A, B, C, D, and Z. They would just be talking about what they have achieved, not talking about what they are going to do. So because of the achievements we've done, we kindly request you to elect us, and then we increase on more achievements. But it's only right now somebody is talking about giving loans to students, creating a circle for university graduates who don't have jobs. Hey, no. Let's try to be clear about this. I know some people, when we talk about these things, they say you don't need to be a Chagulanyi follower or a supporter. What it takes you to talk about whatever we are saying. A very true Ugandan right now says it either quietly, silently, or hiding, that look here, the things are bad and this government must go. Chagulanye, by the way, is getting supporters. No, the good thing is a mobilizer, by the way. That is true. Is charismatic. That is very true, which the Segonas and the other Semujus can't be. The other charismatic person would be BSJ.
Actually, Mr. Eddie, on that same spot, what are strategies has Bobi Wine employed to mobilize grassroots support and sustain his opposition movement?
Bobi Wine is a rabadaba style, as he normally says. He's been going under clandestine, underground. Not everything that he's doing is in the media. They're using social media. Yes, not everything that is doing. Who knew they would come up with such a magnificent, such a strong manifesto? We've never got Uganda has never had a manifesto like the one Bobi Wine has come up with. Noop has brought today. You know, who knew they would come up with such a manifesto?
If I may interject, Sevo, if I may interject as well, just to add on your point, it's like the other day I did a post and I was like, when the candidates just like, put out their manifestos, we have to go back again and see what is real and what is a lie. We have a president that we have had for over 40 years. And this is a president I've grown up with. I just went back and looked at Mr. Museveni's manifesto. I've not looked at Mr. Museveni's manifesto, the new one, or whatever he has put out this time, because I'm tired of looking at that. I've had to see or hear all that he has put out. But all I focused on as a person is the manifesto he put out. That is he actually put it out in 1980, what was it? 1984, before he had come into power. This was what was called a 10-point program. Abajimanyi.
Yeah.
Abamanyi 10-point program. Oba kwegamba ensonga 10 ze yagamba nti these, if I come into leadership, zokutambulirako nga nze Museveni.
Sebo mukulu Mbazira.
Nkuwuliriza Sebo.
Let me interject.
No, we were talking about the manifestos, and
yes. Let me interject on that. The 10-point program you're talking about, that ones were just written. They were just programs, just thought about by. It was Winnie Byanyima who came up with those programs, with those 10-point whatever. Museveni came to take power. He didn't have any plan. He didn't. There was no plan. There's no program.
But again, he moved with it.
Those 10 points. No, those ones were written when they had already taken over power. Then he started.
No, that's why they were written apparently for a fact As a matter of fact, the 10-point program was written in 1984. They took over power in 1986.
I'm trying
And I
to tell
can read
you.
to you the 10-point program. Ngabweri. Njikusomere tata.
Kankubulire toginsomera naye kankubulire. Ebintu ebimu tujja ne tubiraba wano naye si bwe biri. Basajja byagenda okuyingira nga tebaali na pulaani yonna. Ne Museveni batuuka time nga bateekings over power. N'agamba kati bane tukoze tutya. Those were his questions.
Mukama wange nga ne moderator wali. Katugambe kale balina program oba balina enteekateeka yaabwe nga bwe tugiyita nti it's called the 10-point program. Kuba kye tumanyi nti when the RM came into Uganda, when they took over power,
balina documents.
I'll be honest. I was 6 years at the time in 1986. Hold it up.
Yes, sir.
I was just 6 years. And this is a leader we welcomed with open arms. Era bino bye byali ebirowoozo bye. Could I put the 10-point program one?
Just in the interest of time, I think that would be a discussion of another day because I wanted us to trail back to area of interest. I think we shall need more of that so that I think we shall find a defined topic aligning with now with that side of that party. But for now,
it was about the manifestos.
Moderator, I think it's very right, Mbazira. We need to discuss that 10-point program at length. There is a lot we need to talk about.
Discussing it. It's just like
not
looking
now.
at the points of it. It's just like looking at the points of it because we talked about Mr. Chagulanyi's because we're talking about Mr. Chagulanyi and whatever is exhibiting right today. And then we have to look at what most probably, if time allows, in a way, if time does not allow, then we let that be. But just to give you a picture.
I'll give you a chance, then you throw some highlights on it.
Just highlights, just like highlights. The 10 points that the president that we have today that has been in power in over 40 years. For those of you who can get out the 10-point program, but I'm going to read to you what Mr. Museveni promised 40 years ago. 40 years ago, he said, 10-point program, point number 1 was like he said that I'm going to bring back democracy. Democracy was his first point. Today, look at what democracy is in Uganda. Point number 2 was security. Security. Are you secure today? Okay, we could say that he has scored 10 or 30% of that. People are secure. Number 3, consolidation of national unity and elimination of all forms of sectarianism. That was point number 3. All points of sectarianism. When we talk about sectarianism, point number 4, defending and consolidating national independence. Are we independent olwalero nga oyina abagwira abatutte companies abantu and every abagwira be running companies zensi? Point number 5, building an independent and integrated and self-sustaining national economy. Economy ya Uganda mugitunuulire bannange. Etambulira ku sijja binnyonnyola. Namba 6, yali restoration and improvement of social services. Social services tegedde bwe bujjanjabi ge malwaliro bino bibiina bye twalina bigundi byani eby'ebyobwegassi babaga PDM simanya ADM obaani. Number 7 ate nzibu ofa elimination of corruption and misuse of power.
Yo tugireke kuba yo yagaana.
Ate lwaki tugireka kuba tugyogerako eri mu nsonga.
I want to go in details naye yagitambulira temwagiraba naye yamutabukako.
Namba 8 yali redressing errors that have resulted in the dislocation of other Ugandans educated population kwegamba abantu abali dislocated. Olwaleero abantu abasinga ffe abaasoma bye twasoma tuli Bulaayi nti tuli dislocated ng'ensi. Number 9 cooperation with other African countries in defending human and democratic rights of our brothers in Africa. Mulabe Uganda bweri mu East Africa. Ne number 10 following an economic strategy of a mixed economy. Kati bw'otunuulira programu eyo yali manifesto kubanga omukulu ayogedde ku manifesto ate ne Kyagulanyi yalonchinze naye no manifesto gye yakola emyaka nga 40 emabega. Bintu bimeka gwe bw'otunulamu ng'okuze emyaka gino kati nga ffe abakulidde emyaka gino. N'ogamba nti mbutuufu akozeeko 90% oba ne bwe ziba 60
anti kakati yabasabye n'agamba nti asabayo kino ekisanja kyokka amalize
consolidating kitegeeza ki? Consolidating kitegeeza ki? Okukuuma ebyo bye tufunye. Consolidating the gains. Eyo ye motto ya Museveni. Si eyo?
Yes, sir.
Kati kiki kye tufunye bwe mbangwa nkuzizza emabega ku bintu byagamba emyaka 40. Consolidating kusiba banuupu oba bakuwakanya. Tugenda consolidating bwavu. Tugenda consolidating nze ng'omuntu atunuulira kuwakanya. Ne bwe gamba ne bwe nali tudde n'abasajja abadifendinga mwami Museveni obulwa bw'omudifendinga onoonye engeri gy'odifendinga muzeeyi Museveni n'ogamba nti oke kati muzeeyi kati ntandikirewa bino bye wayogera bino by'ojja okukola emyaka 4 emabega oba 44 because eno gundi 10-point program yakolebwa 84. Nejjanga ekyusibwa abaana tujja bawa paadi. Abaana baali babawadde paadi. Abasomesa abaana mu masomero tujja kuteekawo free education.
Bakyogeddeko emayuge ekya paadi. Abantu emayuge bakyogeddeko.
Buuza nga
Mr. Mbazira
bagambira nti abaana bajja bawa paadi.
Mr.
Abaana bajja bawa paadi.
Let's come back on track. But no, according to
Mr.
Mbazira, according to what you've aired, it really holds a lot of air. But I think we shall give it another show of its own, where we're going to look at Mr. Eddie. First wait, we're just going to look at. We shall give it another show where we're going to trigger the 10-point program of NRM.
No, we don't. We brother. We maybe the manifestos and comparing the manifestos. At the moment, Nze, I would think I would request, not even think, but request that, because today we are looking at Bobi Wine, what the influence, but this is the influence that we are talking about. He is exposing what people would have done because they promised to do it and they have not done it. And this is a young man that has come up, and this is, for me, a generation gap. And people don't want to accept the generation gap and the ideas of the generation that is right here today. When you look at a person like Mwami Semuju Nganda telling you that you should not have dropped the Omukuru Segona simply because he's educated. We've had the elites. We've had the Mama Mbabazis when they were in parliament. We've had all these Kanyas. They debated so good. Some of us who were journalists back then used to love their debates. Nothing changed until this man came, a ghetto boy, who said, if you can't, these were his words, if you don't bring what did he say? He said, if you don't come to the ghetto will come to you.
True. Yeah.
I don't think he said it in the same way as I'm saying it, but he said that the ghetto
No,
is
that's
coming
what he
to you
said.
at one time.
Exactly, that's what he said.
Olabanga omusajja agamba nti ku mukulu ono lawyer n'omuyimbi gwe nnina kati nze mbawadde muyimbi ate abantu bajja kulonda omuyimbi
naye
actually also to align on that Mr. Eddie, a little bit just to put an additive on that. I remember was it Kiza Besigye also aired on the same issue where he said that the biggest problem of Uganda are the elites.
Yeah, that is true. The Segonas and the Ngandas are the biggest problem the country has.
So we're left with no choice.
No. We're left with no choice. We're left with no choice. And it's really, it's really baffling for somebody who claims to have gone to school. I want to use the word claims because, of course, people abantu bagula ebipapula ne bagula bino na biri. Though I know Segona and I met him at campus, yagenda n'asoma. I knew him somehow, somewhere. Naye he has reduced himself to omuvuzi w'obugaali, in the way of reasoning. You can't reason that way. Both of them with the Semuju. Semuju is saying that he cannot be vetted by a counselor, a counselor somewhere who is my friend. We have.
Let me give you the practical thing. Until omusajja gamba wano. Today I'm doing an IT course. Naye omusajja gamba nti gwe ne bw'onaaba oyina ebipapula byo bino ng'obisomi byonna, you get all the grades, n'osoma n'ogamba nti mbaziira nsomye nfunye ABCD byonna mbifunye nina the highest gundi scores
grades
in the grades z'osoma, nsomye programming ngifunyemu kino, nsomye networking ngifunyemu kino. Omusajja mu kampani gy'ogenda okukola agenda kutunuulira kintu kimu, what can you do practically? Ajja kubuuza osobola okusetting up DHCP, osobola okusetting up gundi router negaba ku kizimbe. That is what you can do. Nti bw'otunuulira abasajja bano aba NUP batunuulira practicality. abasajja b'NUP batunulira practicality nti omuntu ku kyalo weereza otya omuntu oyo owa wansi okoze otya omutuuseeko otya omuweereza omugambye nti akumanyi si gwe kubeera eno mu makooti go n'ojja n'olyoka oyogera by'oyogedde mu paalamenti yaffe tekyakola nfu yafuuka yaba movement ndi okay kati basazeewo ti kino kyekino.
Would it be the same reason as to why he left?
Abantu baagala bakolera nti oluguudo bannange abantu abaweereza kyekyo lwaki olaba abasajja nga Hilderman basigaddeyo omugundi ku kaadi bagifunye. Hilderman oyo mulaba agenza atambudde emigga n'akolera abantu be ku kyalo ekiweesa gundi kaadi ono abadde LC5 ani ono muyimbi gundi agitutte ku gundi ku Seggona Walukagga. Abantu bajja kugamba mu constituency ye ng'abadde LC5 abakoledde gundi budget eyimuse abakoledde. That is a fact. Ate bajja kubuuza Seggona, nze nalabye abakayana ku Seggona nga bagamba nti why omusajja yali akomyewo ddi n'atuuza olukiiko, leero lwasoose oddutuuza olutuyita nti banaye bannyimye kaadi mujje naye tajjangako wano with his proudness. Naye Kyagulanyi akolagana n'abantu batuuka ku bantu wansi, down to the people. Kati gwe bw'oba teweebalaawo nti otuuka ku bantu wansi, then you are nobody. You're not for the party.
Bwe mba nyongereza ku by'oyogera, the struggle has no class. Omuntu yenna buli omu aba asobola contributing to the struggle. Naye bw'onoogamba kuba kati Uganda kyerimu it's a struggle to get back their country. Kati gwe bw'onooleeta abantu mugenda kwogeza mateeka wano mu ab'amateeka munaateesaayo ki nga Seggona bw'azzaabibogera. Naye azze ateesa amateeka akola ki? They've been ineffective. Teri kivuddeyo. Teri kye baggyeyo n'akatono. Whereas omuntu bw'avaayo n'agenda ku street n'adimandinga ekintu, ebintu ebimu olumu bikyuka. For example, bwe wabeerawo sit down strike like nga bagundi abasuubuzi, eby'emisolo egimu ne bagamba tugiyimirizza. Processes ezimu ze bazze nga bakola ebintu ebimu gavumenti by'egyekola nga bibanyigiriza ne babagamba kino musooke mulindeko. Naye ng'ate bano babeera mu parliament tebasobola bistopping. Babyogerako, sijjaga nti babyogerako. They do. They are very well. They are very good. And they excel in that. Mu kwogera obwogezi. They excel. They are very good. You know? Naye ate beerabidde Seggona engeri gye yayagadde ayogedde n'oyo gundi mukwano gwange Ssemujjuŋŋanda. Banenyamizza nnyo olw'okuba batunuulira oli omusajja oyo gundi ani Walukagga bw'otasobola yasobola byakuyimba kugenda kuyimba ku parties. Let me tell you, music is politics also. And teri wasinga kubeera politics nga mu music. Because it transmits a message. Message eva mu music mpitirivu gy'oyinza okuteeka mu music ng'ocommunicating eri abantu. Anything that you want to communicate. Be it a developmental program, be anything that you want to do. Naye kati bano tinga ekyo tebakiraba bo batunuulira kirala. Music bamutunuulira only wano ku surface. Tebamanyi music ki bw'aba asensedde omuntu kikyatuukako nti akyusa obwongo bw'omuntu. Music oyo ayinza
kyenjagala okugattako kinono nnyo nti bannange mutunuulire nnyo situations whereby nti Kyagulanyi ebintu bibiri bye yakoze 2 in 1 okufulumya kaadi zino at the last moment. The last moment kino kusengejja misege mu ndiga.
Oh yeah, yes.
Kusengejja
Actually,
misege mu ndiga nti last moment teyabalinze. He waited. Kyagulanyi and his party yalinze n'agamba okay anti kati kuba singa yazifulumya luli da wali balabye nga balinze ngenze you know naye bw'oba ng'olina omutima ogw'ekibiina ky'oyagala nga you are really there for a reason ng'ogamba ndi mu struggle I'm opposition, then you will say okay ekivuddeyo kyekyo nkikkiriza gwe bawadde kamubaakinge oba kankole naye oba kantuukeyo neemulugunyemu naye kati mubalaba ono Roy simanyi Roy wegundi ali ku media all over the place
alibagala
agamba ate simanya ekibiina kyafa dda obadde mu kibiina and you are there and all of a sudden kati kibi nnyo mubalaba kati that is what this man nze sijja namuyita boy I call him a boy because muvubuka mu mbeera yange gye ndowooza nti this is not what President Museveni anticipated, that we'll get an opposition of the kind that he has gotten. No, as the topic. And why he has like really diversified the opposition in Uganda. Nti olwaleero Mr. Museveni nga bwali Mwami Museveni yalowooza nti I will have done away with the opposition by the time. He has done that actually. DP is gone. The traditional parties are gone. DP is gone. UPC is gone. Party chendala. CP is gone. Kabaka yati yaliwo. Jema zonna yazimira.
Naye omanyi nti wano baatidde buti naye babadde nga tebagala kuregisteringa gundi
yatamanyi omuvubuka gwe yatulugunyiza eggulu bwe yakwata nattira omugundi you know and
mukwano gwe nnyo
tamanyi strategy ye tamanyi byakola abasajja baguddewo offices how kati obuyeekera omanyi abantu boogera ku buyeekera ne balowooza nti obuyeekera genda mu nsiko gwata mundu naye Kyagulanyi akoze obuyeekera obuli modern obuli simple gulawo ofiisi tebamanyi nti naweeri yagiguddewo mu eastern tebamanya nti yagiguddewo mu western tebamanya nti yagiguddewo n'azimba ekitebe olwaleero ndaga ebitebe bya National Resistance Movement ebadde maanyi oba mu buyinza kimu oba bibiri bakyapangisa. This is a party that has structures. Bagamba National Unity Platform eri mu Kampala. Come on, you gotta be cautious. This is a man with a mission. And you got to look at it bw'obanga otunulira byabufuzi bya Uganda na byambeera. This is something unprecedented. Bwe tuba twogera ku Kyagulanyi olunaku olwaleero, we got to give credit. Tulina okuwa credit nti ye muntu akoze, not DP, not any of these traditional parties ezibaddewo over the years. Is because of what he has done.
Yes, to the viewers, it's a topic of discussion where we're just looking at how Bobi Wine has really challenged the status quo. And let's just have a short little break with our little commercial. Then we shall come in full gear with the Bwana Eddie Cool, where we want us to see, because Eddie Cool seems to be a man of a kind heart and an NRM apologist at some moment. and want to give him a package as we come to our short break. Eddie Cool, put this into mind. How is the government actually responding to Bobi Wine's efforts to challenge this status quo? And then what does this reveal about the political climate? Exactly, what is the government really? How is he managing these challenges Bobi Wine is bringing on the table? But let's just have a little commercial break, and then we come back in full gear, and then we call it a quit.
Is an institute designed to prepare students for rewarding careers in the vibrant hospitality industry. Copenhagen International Institute of Catering and Hotel Management is here to provide a solid foundation for Ugandans in catering, hotel management, knowledge and skills required to excel in various hospitality sectors. Our courses are designed by industry professionals to ensure that students learn from the best to create well-rounded graduates. We offer practical training and internships to students using state-of-the-art equipment which is used all over the world to prepare our learners for jobs both locally and internationally. We are located in Kisasi on Bahai Road, 8.7 kilometers from Kampala city center. Copenhagen International Institute of Catering and Hotel Management.
Yes, that's a Copenhagen International Institute. Yes, and then it's catering, where we believe our own has really done wonders. Wajala Joseph, yes, he's in Uganda, where he picked knowledge from Denmark, and then he took it back home, and he's trying to empower our brothers and sisters there with knowledge, at the same time employment in the same way. And I'll say kudos to my brother Wajala Joseph. Thanks for this initiative. But as we come to the almost a closure of this session of today, I'll just have also to have a question to one Eddie Cool. Yes, as government has seen whatever is really happening, we've left a lot not touched in this question of how Bobi Wine is trying to challenge, because if you're looking at the status quo, we have to look into the legal aspect. How is it really fidgeting when they're dealing with Bobi Wine? Because apparently his foot soldiers are still in custody. When we look, but as if you've seen what has been happening today in court, it's really laughable. And when it comes to the his campaigning trail, really a lot of drama is happening when it comes to the enforcers. How you bring in police to merge with the army, where the army's role is something else, it also leaves a lot of challenge on the table. But I just want to ask Bwana Eddie. Yes, Eddie. Whatever is happening is happening. But then again, we still have a government, I'll say in courts, which is NRM, is seeing all this drama happening. In their line, they will see it as drama or a threat. How is it responding to this threat?
That's a very, very good question. Let me tell you. Here, Bobi Wine, let me put it this way. Bobi Wine has exposed the status quo as an illegitimate government, as an illegitimate, call him Kabul. It's not a government per se, the way they are doing things. Because a government that upholds the law could not start doing what deploying the military, the police to act like goons to stop Bobi Wine's campaign tours. They've not done it to many other candidates. Yes. We can see President Museveni. He even stops and campaigns when they close roads, and he makes his rallies in the roads and the campaigns. He talks, But Bobi Wine, they are refusing him to pass through particular roads. They don't want him to go and reach where he wants to go, So he's exposing them that here we are dealing with a rogue government, a rogue regime. we are dealing with goons. Because, I mean, nothing can explain the actions of the police stopping, harassing Bobi Wine's campaign tours, you know. And here are the people who are busy arresting whoever they want with without just cause, throw them into jail, take them to court, and which courts have turned into military courts, you know. Yes, and Bobi Wine has exposed this. Let me tell you, whether Bobi Wine, this government likes it or not, Bobi Wine has undressed them to the bone, you know. Everything about it, they try to cover up. They were democratic, we are this and that, we are done. He has exposed them.
Do we see some reforms coming?
There is a very, very... Pardon?
I'm saying, do we see some reforms that government's yet to do?
I'm not so sure. It's too early to call. It's too early to call. If we're talking about reforms, it's too early to call. The other day you saw this Judge Baguma, how he behaved in court. He behaved like some military officer, you know, in court. He does not allow suspects to speak in court, to express their dissatisfaction. You know, here in Kawempe, you've seen they've refused to give bail to the political prisoners from NUP, like Waisa Mufumbiro and others, because you see, they are doing everything possible to undermine the process. And whatever they've been covering, that it's a democratic government, we have institutions that are working. Now we are telling you, this is, you don't need to ask anybody, are institutions in Uganda working? No, they are not working as they are meant to work. The speaker, the would-be speaker of parliament, is busy campaigning for President Museveni, which is very, very okay. But she's the very one busy dishing out money. And she's a speaker of parliament. Dishing out money, a lot of money, you know. And that lady is feared by the way. There is a lot they talk about that lady.
We say the government is working in is just a reaction, just reacting to what is really happening.
It's in panic.
It's in a panic mode.
Yes, it's in panic mode. They don't even know what to do, you know, and nobody to lie to. The other day, you saw the Minister of Internal Affairs was busy questioning what charges are keeping Dr. Kizza Besigye in prison. He's a minister. He sits in cabinet, but he doesn't know what charges are being brought against his colleague. You know, his Bushiwo colleague. He doesn't know. So he's talking about, he was busy telling government, he's in government, but he was busy telling the government is in that stop harassing Chagulanyi and his people. Stop arresting NUP politicians. Stop arresting these people. You know, but he's a minister and in internal affairs. He's a minister who could tell the police what to do. But he was busy going on the media, speaking from the media. What does that tell you? It tells you that these ministers there just in quotes or in words or in titles, but they are nothing. Everything is done elsewhere, you know.
Wow.
And now here is the time actually that Bobi Wine is exposing them in everything that is Bobi Wine is doing, is exposing them and telling Ugandans, is this what you want? Until that point in time when Ugandans will say no, this is not what we want, I'm telling you, they will send these people packing.
Yes, let me just get your last thought here. Eddie Cool is giving us this perspective of the government, but you, who is in the diaspora, One Bazira. I don't know whether you hear us.
I'm with you, Sebo.
Yes.
If you hear me. Yeah.
Yes, you are the person who is in the diaspora. Do you really think that? I mean, how has the international attention influenced Bobi Wine's efforts and the border struggles for these political changes in Uganda? Do you really think that you've done enough, or do you really feel at some moment that Bobi Wine has done enough to impact also the international, supporters in this?
For starters, I think Bobby does not really have to do enough to impact the international supporters that he has. He already has a crowd out here. I'm talking in a way of a journalist that when I look at the numbers and the support, I really don't believe that Bobby has to do anything as far as the support he got from the people who are in the diaspora, because the people in the diaspora really know what the people back home are going through. So I don't really think that Bobby has to even put strength into that. He's been down here in the different diversity entities that we have, and he has maybe appeared to resource for the party, because at the end of the day the government said no, we're not going to give you the iPod money, we're not going to, but most probably some of the money that is running the campaign down there has been coming from the people in the diaspora, because this is a trend that has been created by the now president. You sent people out there in the diaspora because you will not give them jobs down there, and they came and they're working and they love their president. They love somebody else.
Oh yeah,
they're not going to love you because they're on this. Many of us, so many of the people who are down here would want to come back home. They would want to come back home and be with it. They would want to start something for their people down there, and it is running. But the opportunity is not down there because the environment has not made it possible. So all I have to say is that today it is in the favor of Mr. Kyagulanyi, with the people that he has down here, influencing the people down there to get him the vote. We've seen it with the people,
Mbazira.
and at the end of the day, that's why I told you that.
Mbazira.
Yes, sir.
Guwabbiranga ebibuuzo.
Nabbe ebibuuzo.
Wabbiranga ebibuuzo.
Ate ebibuuzo nga mbibbira ki?
You ask the moderator, I will tell you. He knows what I'm talking about.
Nze mbadde mpa submission yange.
Auntie, okyogedde the way we put it here sometime back.
Ng'avuddeko.
Tetwalina ku air. Twakyogera. Ne tukyogerako ne tugamba nti ne ku air twakyogera actually. Abantu abali mu diasporas. Sente ze baweereza e Uganda. Abantu be bawa sente ezo tezikola kyezaali badde kikola olwa environment eriyo. Kyetugamba obubbi n'enguzi n'emisolo emikakali. Kati ne tugamba nti singa abantu bano bakozesa omukisa ogwo, gamba abantu nti kuwa akasente kange kano, naye njagala obeere ng'oli muntu wankyukakyuka.
Nze ekyo mbadde sikimanyi, naye nze njogera nga muntu ayise mu mbeera. Nti ayita mu mbeera nti okay, eyange bwe ndaba embeera bw'etambula, nti
You know?
olwaleero bwe mba nga nkola
Nze
ezange zino
omuntu ali mu diaspora
ez'omu
ali mu
kiyumba kyange gye ndimu eno
ali mu diaspora really bw'aba aweereza ssente n'agamba oli ssente nkuwadde
ntobanga bwe ntoba
ozimuwadde agende ku kampeyini ya gundi
ekyokulya tekiriiyo naye tukyuse embeera kati kiri gy'oli.
Thank you very much, Bwana Mbazira. You know, time has never been on our side, and I think this discussion needs another second episode of its own because we're left a lot untouched. Because if we go in details when we talk about
my brother,
please.
If I were to just summarize, it's like I did not give my own summary, but my own summary is like you know what, it's a free vote, and of course we've always had free votes in Uganda, but look at the situation for you who is in Uganda down there and who's gonna vote. Some of us have been curtailed because in developed countries and countries elsewhere, we could vote most probably wherever we are. And we're not, it's not possible because if you were to vote today and say that the people who are down here in the diaspora, they have their ndagamuntu kuba abasinga tuzirina. It's not like we have, like, you know, the citizenship that we have down here, we have. At the end of the day, influence nedda ne bwebera kweri ate osobola okulonda tosobola kulonda nga endagayo oyina kudda Uganda olonde owulidde. So abali eka mulonde nga mmwe otunuulira embeera yo gy'olimu. Okulonda okukugamba okulonda olwaleero, this is the end of my submission, nti okugamba olwaleero nti londa naye mutunuulire ebigambo abantu bano bye boogera ate mutunuulire n'omukulembeze gwe mulina leero mulabe omukulu bw'abanga ddala emyaka 5 gy'asaba anaagisobola really anaagisobola gwe balamu ogambye nti oke nina erivubuka wano lijja kugenda linkimira ekidomola ky'amazzi wali kati owenkaaga n'asobola okukima ekidomola ky'amazzi mu Uganda gye tulimu nti amazzi tegaliiyo ku muddumu gye tugenda okugakima weenoonye.
Bwana Mbazira, what's your take on this one before I call it off?
Again, showing trust.
What's my take on what?
In me,
on this one, members.
I want to thank the NRM members for again showing trust in me and electing me as the NRM chairperson for the period 1925-1931 and also for the flag bearer for the period 1926-1931. As we have discussed in our inner organs, but before I talk about the future, I hope nobody will accuse the Electoral Commission for campaigning for me. When they selected this site here, what I challenged the NRM media team to do is to go and get a satellite picture.
And that was it, actually, what I wanted to share with you.
Apparently, oyina n'akalala koleseeyo when he was at nga balaunchinga simanya oluyimba lwe, he said that yagamba nti when we next year when we shall do much more for you. He did not say when we win the election. He said next year after the election.
Meaning that the electoral commission has already done.
So at the end of the day, nze kyembagamba kintu kimu nti bannange, we in a society eri biased mu ngeri yaayo, naye kiri eri ggwe awuliriza oba alaba okuinfluencinga, kuba abantu abalala bacca neeno ndowooza bayinza okuba nga balina abantu baabwe, naye nze bw'oba oŋŋamba nti ndi Bulaaya mpa ssente bw'oba mpeerezaayo ku kasente, sooka kubuuza kimu nti Kyagulanyi Museveni, n'olyoka oŋŋamba nti Museveni, n'olyoka olaba ze nkuweereza, nnyinza okukuweereza omutwalo gumu nga naali kuweereza 15 oba 2, naye mu byonna our leader is tired. Tukirize, he accepted himself in one interview that he did, and he said honestly at 87 or 78
75
at 70, I don't see me. He said it in camera, and he said the vigor is not there, and this is what we are seeing. He said it. So at the end of the day, omuntu bw'oyogera ekintu ate n'olyoka otuuka n'ogamba, then you become a liar, you become a crook. Nti nze nkoze emyaka gye nkoze mu Sweden wano. For those of you who are listening to me, I've worked with the elderly. Nkoze n'abakulu abakadde bano, abalina dementia, abalina obulemu obwa buli kika. I've worked with them. That has been my job. Era nengenda nembisoma. Olwaleero nsoma IT bya gundi. Naye nkoze mu emyaka 17 gye mmaze wano nti mbakozeemu. Omanya omuntu n'otandika okulaba obwongo nga butandise kino takyakitegeera, kino akigatta, ako ka video k'okoze oba bye yayogera yabyeyogerera, and at the end of the day mwabatalaba mulekeyo okulaba
Mbazira
bwenkirezaawo.
Ekikulu ekiriwo wano njagadde nnyo gundiyo gy'okozesa nti bw'oweereza akasente Uganda obuuza ekibuuzo, and that is very good. Tekyalibadde kirungi nnyo gwe ng'oli wano ssente zo z'okoleredde oziwa omuntu atamanyi nsi bw'etambula. Omuntu alina okumanya ensi bw'etambula, then awo muba mujja kukwatira wamu. Kaakati ekirala ekyokukoowa, twali wano emyaka emabegako, myaka giweze oba ng'emeka sijjukira, twali n'omugenzi President Binaisa, Lukongwa Binaisa. Yali azze wano kuziika muganda we yali abeera wano, yafiira wano era ne bamuziika wano. Twaliko yaziikibwa Crocodile. Kati nafunako akadde okutuula ne President. Twanyumya ne President n'aŋŋamba yayogera ebintu mu bintu bye twanyumya naye emboozi. Kikulu yali amanyi ne famire yange, naye ebintu bye twanyumya naye emboozi yaŋŋamba Museveni akooye. But we are talking about over 10 to 15 years back. N'agamba nti Museveni akooye. Kati the man has been tired for a long period of time naye ng'agaaniddeko kuba ebintu by'azzaakola byonna tebikulaga nti akyalina amaanyi, akyalina viga. ku ssaawa eno omulaba musaasira n'omusaasira n'abantu abamusindika nze abantu abo abasindika Museveni oba pulezidenti Museveni nti yes batemu nnyo abamusindika kuba bamutta n'okumutta tebamwagaliza bulamu bwe bubeerewo ate nga twali mwagadde abeerewo atubuulireko ebintu ebimu abe ng'atuwabula yali badde awummula n'abeerako ne famire ye n'abeerako n'abazzukulu yali baddeko n'abazzukulu be mu butuufu abo bonna b'olaba abamugendako abo ba vultures bamunywamu musaayi si nti bamwagala gyabakama
kati ate n'otunuulira waliwo abantu abamu b'otunulire n'ogaba bannange era nze bannange mazima ga Katonda abantu ba Jumani bwe banaalonda omusajja oyo yani Moses Ali wallahi nja kumanya nti eyo Northern Uganda nfu bonna abaveeyo nja kumanya muli bafu bw'obanga oli mu Northern Uganda ng'oli ku mukutu guno and you can't the man is dead, literally dead. I'm not proclaiming him dead. But you look at a man and he's standing really
bamubonyabonya ne President Museveni naye abantu bamubonyabonya yali badde omusajja awummula
muzeeyi okumuzunza mbino campaign
ne bamuzunza weebale nnyo mu campaign ku myaka gy'aliko yali badde abeera eri naye bazzukulu be nga naye awummulemuuko aenjoyinga fruits ze sweets ze azze abonaabona okumala emyaka mingi
nze kambabulira akalulu ke nalaba
yalizeeyo n'atuula n'anywa obuugi buli bw'asinga okuwagala okunywa n'abeerako n'abaana be
twogera ku bululu wano we are talking about the elections but I remember one election that I really saw Mwami Museveni when he was like that was the akali kajjo mutwala ke kali aka 96 for those of you who were there 1996 via Mwami Semogere. That election was yakabba naye that was an election that was going to kill, but if he insists Mukano no mulenzo ono because he was contesting with Mwami Semogere then for the second time, he still had energy. But if Mr. Museveni insists in this election, Mubulungi, if people care about him, and whoever is in the natural get the wanunga antandi kaningamba anti whoever cares about Mr. Museveni nganaye ya running a campaign yerero agamba anti kyagulanya ayite mu nguudo ez'omu byalo. The fuck you I'm sorry to use that language. You're doing him a disservice. Omukolera campaign olaga abekyalo nti omusajja yono gwe mulina okulonda
kuba abebibuga olwedde bamumanyi
makuba eyo mu kibuga bamumanyi kati ate omutadde mu makuba eyo g'ebyalo ate abekyalo bamumanye era bajja kulonda ye gwe togenda kuyita mu byalo eyo bakukowakoowa dde oba bakumanyi oba babadde bakumanyi naye omuntu abadde tamanyi bajjajja mubalabye nga bagwa mu bifo byakyagulanyi.
I think it's becoming unfair not to have some NRM on the NRM.
No, it's becoming unfair, families. But at the end of the day, we're giving this submission. The next time you have an NRM person on this panel,
and that's what I'm trying to
let
ask.
Let them come down and argue down this, and they tell me that what Joseph said is wrong. Because apparently I'm opening up their eyes personally. I'm telling them that your candidate is being done a disservice. He's being done a disservice. What they think they're doing is right, that he has to get this opposition big candidate and get him through the dislocated roads, the unmade roads. He's
Unpassable
exhibiting
roads. Impassable
the
roads,
impassable
yes.
roads. He's doing himself a disservice. If I were Museveni's campaign manager, I would let this guy go campaign wherever he's campaigning, and I would go campaign the same way he's doing. And at the end of the day, I would not, because at the end of the day, he's getting a more mileage. He's getting more mileage. Today, you've seen the rallies. Today he's getting a bigger mileage than he would even have gotten. He's going into the villages. He's being exhibited down there.
Mr. Bazira, let me get your last parting shots, aligning this to the. I want you to react on what has been happening with the UCC when they are trying to eliminate the live streaming on this campaign trail, and what's your take when they say certain media houses are not entitled to cover up, NRM NRM campaigns?
No, the thing is, I will tell you that the Ugandan election from all years, because it has never been a common ground. For those of you who know, those of you who have grown up and have followed 434 elections, I've told you I'm born 80. I've seen about 5 elections of the current president, and he's the only president that I've known in my lifetime. But at the end of the day, there has never been a common ground. And the common ground means let people campaign where they have to campaign. Let people get to the media. Don't censure the media. I've seen a minister in the government saying that we're going to be forced to shut down the internet.
The internet, yeah.
He forgets that the people in this generation are more even awoken, that they can get DCPUs from anywhere else and they're going to be on the internet. And you don't even say that when you're getting into an election, because guys are going to get the alternative. That is the stupidity of the people that Mr. Museveni has right now. You have elders, people who think that they but they are stupid. I'm sorry to use that word, but they are stupid. They don't know how the technology has evolved. They don't know how the world works. Today, Uganda's Facebook is shut down. Are people not on Facebook? What are they using?
Even police posts on Facebook.
Police is posting via Facebook. The
Minister
is posting
on Facebook.
But it is shut down. How are they posting?
They should be dragged in court.
And then you come out and say we're going to shut down the internet via elections. You're going to affect the mobile money. You're going to affect the economy. During that time, you're not thinking. This is a whole minister coming out and saying this. It is so stupid of the people that we call allies.
Is it also aligned with the challenges challenges of Bobi Wine?
No, it's aligned. I'm telling you that this is a guy who has come down here and exposed, because Bobi Wine's coming is basically exposing the kind of life, the kind of regime or whatever. He's not gone down to the bushes to get a gun to fight like Mr. Museveni did. Museveni saw the injustices at the time and he fought them via the gun. He said, okay, these people are very unjust. They are torturing people. They are detaining people unlawfully. They are doing all sorts of things. And that was his grievance back then. But then there was no technology. So that's the thing he has to think about.
Wow,
and the people
what
is
a
with.
submission.
That Kyagulanyi is not going to go, if we are talking about Kyagulanyi, like we are talking about him today as the topic. Kyagulanyi is not to go to the bushes. He's already done the bushes, opening up offices that he has opened up without the government knowing. They would have stopped.
Awakening the youth.
Awakening the youth. Everywhere he goes, he's a force. And these people have to look at it seriously and know that, this is a man who is in a bush, but in modern times. The modern times bush is not going to get a gun. When you see Kyagulanyi standing on a car like he did today and telling people that, abo temubalwanyisa, mubaleke, because he has learned from the last experience, he does not want people to get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Arabie, all his generals have been taken away from him, Bagai, and people thought that the government thought that they would hurt him, taking away,
there's another new breed.
away, imprisoning all these people, his right-hand men. They thought they would hurt him. And he's playing the sympathy card. He's not even playing the sympathy card. He's just like saying,
interesting. I'm seeing some other, youth guarding him, actually. I thought even it was finished by then.
They will never get finished. I'm telling you, that is what this guy always says. He says that even if I die today, there is going to be a Bobi that's going to rise tomorrow. Because this is what he has instilled in the people.
Just to add on that,
it is just me, olwaleero, naye enkya waliwo Kyagulanyi agenda okuyimuka omulala.
That's what the late Olanya said, that wine is not a person, just an idea. So I
it's
really
an idea. It's not the man himself.
Let's come to an end by getting Eddie's last parting shots. But Eddie, try to educate me in this line. Yes, most of the times these struggles really do happen, and men of great eminence, they're really so much a contributor. We've seen the likes of the Katikilos, the former Katikilos of Uganda, when they had the great dinner with Bobi Wine when they hosted them at home. How do you really relate this to our topic of discussion? Are they of any impact while Bobi Wine is trying to, challenge the status quo?
Yes, they're very, very big impact, very big. One, they're saying that Uganda is behind change. And Uganda is behind Kyagulanyi. Now, as we campaign or we go for elections, there could be some underground maneuvers taking place, discussions taking place with the president or with the government. Actually, the government is the president telling me, look here, I think we need to do this. We need a change, and let's have a peaceful change. Let elections go on as they are, as they may, and then at the end of the day, you hand over, and you'll exit. You'll have a very good passage, a very safe passage for you to go and live your life peacefully without any other hassles or without revenge or retribution. So there could be, to me, that is the message. They came to tell, to show the world, because they would have done it in public, but they did it in open. Now, what they did in open, we should know it was done earlier.
Brother.
Hello?
You have, yeah.
There are so many other maneuvers that have been going on earlier. So what we saw, we are seeing just the cream, but so many other things have been going on. And I know there are some talks taking place because that was a very powerful delegation, very powerful. It has never gone to any other political leader. No.
True, yeah.
And who knows that when he goes to the West, others would also come up. We're not aware. Anything could happen. Because apparently, let me tell you, Bobi Wine is a favorite to win these elections. He's calling out people to come in numbers. And this election is going to be the most contested election. They're going to come out, people are going to come out in mass, in big numbers. You know, because the level of awareness that Bobi Wine has created within voters is amazing. It's overwhelming. You know, it's overwhelming. You see,
just to add a little bit on that, Sebo, Mukuru wange, is the symbolism of the Katikiros, not one of the past Katikiros, not one but two, and no Mukuru wechika. Mukuru wechika would have been something. Nzize, ate. Let's notice how this gentleman is doing his things. He got already Buganda on his side, because when you talk about Mulik and former Katikiro Mwami being there in his home, that is a very big statement.
A big statement, yeah.
A very big statement, underlined, by the way. And again, because this just like shows, because these are people who have really aligned with who have not aligned with this government from the past.
Are you forgetting Israeli Mayengo?
I'm not actually even Mayengo.
He was there also, yeah.
So
he was
these
there.
These three pillars
And
is
Mayengo,
a very big
Mayengo
statement.
was in Moshi.
And
again, Mayengo was in Moshi.
And again, for those of you who have seen the post Mwami Kyagulanyi that he has done today, tracing his roots to Busoga region, where he says that his great-grandfather, I talked about it a bit, his great-grandfather being, having been a former Katikiro of Buganda during Mutesa time, and he went and visited the family where he is.
Another statement, actually.
That is a very big statement. He has just like aligned himself as a Musoga. Period. So today, the other candidates, Babuza, Obuvobwa Mwebuliwa, where is your roots?
So I leave this question to the viewers, that where are your roots? We've come to the end of the show. It's been so much a challenging show that a lot has been left untouched. But due to public demand in terms of time, we can't go beyond this. I feel 2.5 hours is really so much. It has never been such, because it's always interesting, and the people I'm having, they're great communicators. We find ourselves thinking of a next episode of this same show, so that we at least unleash a lot which has been left out. But whatever they've really stated out, it's a question of you consuming what you feel is really worth it. Just take one comment from Makubla. Henry is saying, I think I have missed today. Are you always here? Indeed, we shall make sure that, if possible, that Bwana Bazira accepts. Then we shall make a routine where we shall be doing this discussion at least almost
once in a while. We shall do, especially during the election time. I'm very happy to be on the panel with. By the way, I'm very happy to be on the panel with Mukadde wange, Muganda wange. I'm very happy to be on the panel with him. So sometime we shall get political, because I know this is a very big social channel. Tenge ekwata ku bintu bingi nnyo bya society yaffe. So olumu tuyinza okuba kati tuli mu bintu bya bwabufuzi, and we can divert down there.
The biggest problem with this, when we're talking about this topic of discussion of Bobi Wine role in changing the status quo, olaba naffe kati status quo yakyuse, omusajja yatukyusizza naffe the topic gye tuleese yazimu politics. So the boys of impact, era musajja agambye that okay, but I heard internet will be cut off. Will YouTube be working? Definitely, there are always means of how to secure internet. It's the same thing they try to align with Facebook, where they said Facebook in Uganda has not been on for the previous 5 years. Because I remember
only 5.
Yeah, 5. Because if you recall, it was cut off in the campaigns
during the last campaigns. Yeah,
campaigns. But how we are available, only God knows. So, Mr. Henry, don't get worried. There is always ways. And then we're lucky that one of the panelists is an IT expert right now. So everything will be possible. But given that, I'll just have to appreciate those people who have been online. It's always a pleasure to have you. And we shall keep on this discussion flowing. And then, yes, we shall give our reactions and more. Keep on, engaging with us. Leave questions which you really need this gentleman to at least to handle. But that aside, it's been a show.
Mr. Moderator, before you wrap up, just one word. It's like I'm just requesting people, especially during this period of time when we're going into elections. We might be so far, like, Tuli Buraya, some people are listening to us from Uganda or wherever. Sometimes these are our channels. Feza fete bagenda zigala ngaboola banti bagadde ya dini no bane bamuteeka ne mu kooti because he needs a license or whatever. But at the end of the day, nze kye nsaba abantu nti politics is a part of life, in your life. So at the end of the day, tolowooza nti olwaleero omukulu azze aleese omulamwa guno gwa politics and then ogwebalame olowooze nti you're not going to listen to this, because this channel brings so very many topics, the social topics ezibaddeko nzirabye people engage, but when it comes to politics, people tend to go away. This is what affects your life. This is what is affecting your life today. This is what is going to affect your kids' lives. Neboboli Bulaya is going to affect your people back home. So engage. Jangu tubuulire oba ogambe nti I don't agree with you. Engage in some kind of way. Don't think that this man has become political. No. He has not become political. This channel is like for everybody. So calm down. Naddala abali mu Bulaaya batya nnyo ebintu bwe tutandika okwogera ku byobufuzi oba ebyo ebikwatagana ku bikwatagana eka.
Mukulu,
your last parting shots, Mr. Eddie.
That was my last word, yeah. So
yes, Eddie, your last parting shots.
I want to thank the viewers who have viewed and those who have sent comments also. I want to tell them that we are Ugandans. Being away does not mean that we don't have Uganda at heart. And actually, most of our mind, our hearts, our thoughts all the time are at home. Because somebody would ask a question, after all, you're not here. Why are you even talking about these issues? The very reason we are away, that's why we talk about the issues. We want to be home. So if home all is well, if things are workable, then I don't see a reason why not to be in Uganda. Uganda is a very, very beautiful country. As Chagulanyi is moving out telling people that Uganda is very rich. He told the Busogas that Busoga is very rich, and it's true, Busoga is very rich with minerals. But again, Busoga are poor. But the area they are in is very rich. So if we work on certain things to get better, I don't see any Ugandan even leaving his country, because Uganda is a beautiful country. We should work hard and work for Uganda, not just work for ourselves, but whatever we do. And that's why you see we've given it time to discuss issues of Uganda and in Uganda when we are awake, because we're also trying to build okubeerako n'ettaffaali tuteekako ebyo bigenda mu maaso. So kindly understand our perspective. Just like what Mukulu Mbazira said, there are quite a number of other things that are discussed on this channel: developmental projects, entertainment, educational, quite a number. So if you've been listening to politics, don't think it's only politics. There's a lot more coming. And thank you so much. Thank you for hosting us, Mr. Moderator. And I thank my colleague Mbazira. Toli mwangu tusobola okwogera netwogera
nange nkwebaza naye ate omukulu atugasa olwaleero mwebaza nnyo okusinga nti atulese n'atugatta, and it's been a beautiful evening. I've actually enjoyed it.
Omanyi kinyuma nnyo ne mukwatagana mu birowoozo, muntu atunulira ebintu into the same perspective, unlike somebody nga talina clue of what is going on, you know. And I really shudder that most of us abali mu Bulaaya twalibadde tuli knowledgeable, tumanyi ebintu ebigenda mu maaso, naye ojja kusanga oli omuntu nga ojja kusanga oli nga talina kyamanyi n'akatono, you know. Kyova olaba nti sometimes tutuuka n'okutuuka ku kisaawe ne babazanyirako, when you could reach at the airport and speak up your mind, say no, sigenda kuwa sente ne bwebemu because you are paid a salary. Nosanga omusirikale mu town ovuga moroka n'akuyimiza n'agamba mpa sente, omugamba no, sigenda kuwa sente ne bwebemu kuba sina musango gwemmenye. Naye ate our people ababeera eno bewalulowooza nti balina kye bamanyi kye basobola okukyusaako, ate tebalina bangi. I'm sorry to so say, you know, naye nsanyuse nnyo okuba nti ompadde omwami njasa biggu gwe tugenda okwasaganya naye ebyensonga. Neyanziza.
Wow, what a submission. I always appreciate my guests, and I'll say big thank you for my guests for appreciating sparing your time. And it's not always easy in the diaspora. People are really so busy. So once someone gives you his spares this time for you, it's always a plus. There is one other comment here that okay, there is one who is having some okay, I think you need to recompose yourself, the last comment. So but then again, I'll just really do appreciate those of you who watch online. Kati abamu tuyina valde omanyi abamu twakuzibwa mu maka ng'ebigambo ebimu
gankubulire muganda wange. You know, I think I'm a student. I know you're a student of my school.
Yeah.
Sometimes some comments.
Let me just spotlight it. That's the word he has used, and then I feel uncomfortable, and then I'm like, okay, he'll be okay.
Yeah. Because everybody's entitled to their opinion. Anti katyoyo tumugamba nti weebale nnyo munnange, ate kirungi nnyo nti ali ku channel eno, and at the end of the day be bantu betwagala okubeera nti bali naffe, nti ate atugoberera
endowooza ye
ne wajja n'atugamba nti owaayi olinganga kitoyi nga bw'atuyise munnange bw'atyo bw'akyogedde. Taata tukulamusizza
naye nga tukwagadde your viewership is also
Uyu tumwebaza mwebaza mugoberezi waffe.
Okay. Okay, I'll just say one word to the gentleman. Thank you very much for being one of our viewers. And then lastly, and
he is our follower. Ebiwooma biggwa byokya naye oyo aba mugoberezi waffe ate nnyo.
And he's exercising his right.
Binyigiddemu. Kati ayinza okuba anyigidde ggwe nga oba anyigidde nze oba anyigidde mwami.
We were not on a beauty contest here. We were here to talk about issues. Not everybody can accept them. Kati tujja kwogera ebimu abamu bayinza okunyigiramu, and that is expected. Kati such comments, they are very much welcome. Era mwebaza oyo akoze comment eyo, it's noted. Kuba ne show yaffe agirabye and ajja kitambuza abuliddeko n'abalala. So we'll have more viewership, and we could even have
we didn't offend anybody. We just said what is on our minds, and at the end of the day.
Okay, guys, in the interest of time, let's just appreciate our viewer. I'll just say one word.
Tata ngenda kolayo ka disclaimer akagenda okubanga ku whatever show you're gonna do akagamba nti ebirowoozo ebiri wano si byaffe naye byaffe.
Webale nnyo mukulu Mbazira.
Ako ka disclaimer ngenda kakola nkakole kakalango ng'okakuba ng'okayisaawo awo. The thoughts of the people down here are ours, but they are not ours.
Sebo tujja kuba tukeyanziza nnyo.
Neda ka disclaimer tukeetaaga wano kuba abantu baleme kulowooza nti you're gonna take omuntu ayinza okulowooza nti ajja kutwala Afroden akutwale nti you as a host atatandika okuvugira mu kigaali agambe nti waleese abasajja aboogera ku bintu ebitunyiiza naye ate nga munaye ndowooza siiyo naye nga zaffe.
Mukulu Mbazira katukomekereze.
Katukomekereze ogenda owummule naye ate twogere naye omukulu mwebaziza nnyo oyo gompadde. At the end of the day tujja kunyumirwa akawungeezi, and abalumba channel eno bambi ate tubaagala nnyo. Mujje bino byabufuzi olwaleero bibadde bya lwaleero byokka. Ebeerako ebirala ebirungi.
Episodes of this, and then with other areas, because yes, with this channel we always look at a lot of issues. It can be edutainment, we can go political, we can go anything around, we can always play with it. But we just have to appreciate our viewers for being with us. Just a quick reminder to people in Denmark, on the 25th October we shall be having independence celebration. Hey, those who are concerned with that route that is going to Shine Star, yes, we shall be getting more details. Last week we had some engagement with one of the organizers. I think we shall be having another one very soon, and then we shall be dealing with Mr. Eddie.
By the way, in Sweden, Twina, you independence celebrations.
Actually, Mr. D,
Stockholm.
Yeah.
Stockholm, Tulina independence celebration on the this October. Linda Kokatono Mkwano.
Yes, as we're waiting, also a reminder that also in Norway it will be on the 11th October. They will also be celebrating the Uganda Independence Day. But here in Denmark, it will be on the 25th. Yes, we shall be getting more details, I think, also with another episode. As Mbazira looks for that, I just say a big thank you for my guests for sparing your time, and for viewers, it's always a blast whenever you avail yourself. We shall be having more of
brother. I'm going to send you the ad as soon as possible, and I'm going to send you the ad for the Sweden Uganda community. We have in this independence celebration in October soon. So preferably, I'm into also doing ads for those of you who don't know, commercials and all that kind of thing. So I'll gladly do a commercial for you guys down there.
And then also send us the one for the independence.
If you send me
that
the
we can also run
information,
it. Yeah.
I'll do a commercial that we can run down here, and then for all the countries that we are having the independence community, because first we have to think about our community. So I'll do the commercial for you guys down there.
That's awesome.
Details,
Sebo to just wait is. But for now, I'll say.
Nze nanyine bulango tata abantu bagambe.
Obulango Sebo ngenda kuwa another episode where we're just go into that line. But for now, it has been a discussion, and we've been rocking with Bobi Wine role in challenging the status quo. It's been Bazira Joseph, lined with my major guest of this show, who is Eddie Ngobi Cool. The coolness is always evident here. But we shall be coming back next week, as we shall be looking at how, this campaign trail is really moving, and then we give more ideas. It has been a wrap. I stay your host, aka Smoggy. Goodbye for now, and I wish you the best. But as close this, I just want to say also to those who are having birthdays in October, please, happy birthday, October babies, and welcome to the new month. Yes, just wish you the best and have a blessed weekend. AKA Smoggy has been the host. Goodbye for now and have a great night.
Kukwata kumukono na kuyimsa yakuyamba baba nabako wakutuza era nziza kwebazawo bankwite kusiima eri abalina emitima egirumirirwa yakuyamba baba nabako wakutuza ekigambo okuyamba tokizanyisa bangi babeera n'obusobozi n'ekibalema okukola